So we are back at the CTPA 19 summer session, and we're talking to Chris Tompkins again this year. Chris has now been running this awesome truck for 18 months or so.
Correct.
And what can you tell us? What do we know since we talked last summer?
Well, I haven't found a single complaint with this truck since I've been using it.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, not a problem. I couldn't be happier with it, and I wouldn't replace it with any other truck out there at this point.
We talked last year about both the truck and the inject system that we installed on this truck, which was kind of a brand new and revolutionary approach to plant health care.
Yes.
Now, a year and a half into this, what could you add to that process, or what could you add to our information about the inject in combination with a plant healthcare truck? The integration of those two.
Well, the inject is a moneymaker for doing imidacloprid soil injections. It's been fantastic. You know, it's very quick and easy. It's convenient. It's easy to clean. And having it right here in the back of the truck, it's got its own little compartment and space, and you can hang it right up there, and you know, I couldn't ask for any more.
Now, when you get to a property, if you would just remind me, you pull up with this big truck, do all kinds of things with the truck, and you have the inject system. How do you start? How do you approach the application process at a particular property when you arrive?
Well, it all depends on the time of year and what I'm focusing on, but this truck allows me to do multiple applications at one time, obviously, including the soil injections with the inject. So when I show up on a property, I'm basically not limited to a certain number of applications or treatments I can do in a single property. It allows me the freedom to do whatever I need to do on that particular property, which is very beneficial when I'm doing integrated pest management scouts.
Right.
You know, I'm free to do what I need to do.
Do you typically start with the inject, or you finish with the inject, or how do you integrate those two from just a process?
Well, most times when I'm on a property, I'm doing foliar applications. The inject will be used at certain times of the year based on necessity and
Okay.
what I'm targeting.
But since you have it with you all the time, anytime that you find an appropriate utilization for that, you pull it out.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
you have multiple tanks already mixed with Merit, and Safari, and Lepitech, and whatever. You can pull them out anytime, throw them in the inject, and in 5 minutes you've made another $50 or whatever the number is that you'd be charging for that service.
Yes, that's correct.
Has the inject actually increased the income that you can produce out of this unit?
Like I said earlier, it's a moneymaker.
It is a moneymaker.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how much more money? Is it at 10% or 15% or anything that you can quantify?
I would say more, because the efficiency of the inject and the easy use with the bottles. You can change bottles out with different products. I can use growth regulators or fertilizers or systemic insecticides all in a single day. They're all pre-mixed in a bottle, and you know, I could probably increase my efficiency by 2.5 times easily.
I talked to some of your coworkers at lunchtime, and I was talking about this truck. And the way it sounded to me, it was kind of like a conductor conducting an orchestra or something like that. You've got all these different things that you can do with this.
Yes.
And if you take one additional or even two additional people with you on some of these larger properties that you can take care of, you've got all different kinds of things happening at the same time.
Correct.
And these guys were pretty amazed at how much work can be produced out of the various things that you can do out of this truck. What's your response to that?
Well, oftentimes I will have a partner with me in the truck. And one guy could be out doing tick treatments on a property, and another guy's out doing an oil spray. And then, you know, depending on what else is going on there, I could be grabbing the inject to do a systemic soil injection, and maybe even finish off with a nutrient product, you know, all in the same day. So I could pull up to one single property and perform 4 or 5, maybe as many as 6 different services all on one property.
So how flexible is this piece of equipment?
Extremely flexible.
Is there any limitation to what it can do that you know of?
None, in my opinion.
How high can it spray?
On a good day, I'm easily hitting 100 feet on tall hemlocks. As long as we don't have a breezy day. But on a good day, set the pressure, and easily 100 feet.
So we're talking about a Udor plunger pump,
Yes.
60 gallons a minute,
Correct.
700 PSI, and you're running it off the Hino engine through a PTO system.
Yes.
So it's got all the power that it needs
All the
to do
power
what it
it
needs to do.
Yeah, that has not let me down. That's really been a big plus, where with other trucks I've used in the past, I might be limited height-wise, especially with hemlocks, treating for oil. With this truck, I really don't feel any limitations as far as height.
Size. Do you have enough liquid? 950 gallons, plus you've got these 255-gallon cone tanks?
More than enough.
More than
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I filled the 500-gallon tank with water, and I could pretty much operate off of that truck in off of that tank the entire day, and just transfer water where I need it to be.
The 55-gallon cone tanks, that was something you'd never used before in any of your previous equipment?
No.
What's your feedback about those?
They're great, especially for mixing small quantities of product. They're all calibrated so that, if I only need to use, say, 10 gallons or 15 gallons of a product, it's very easy to measure that amount of water out, add my product, and then once I'm done, then I can see exactly what I have left.
Right. And that's typically what you use for your environmental sprays, your tick sprays, and things like that, in addition to your small IPM applications.
Fungicides or, small insecticide treatments, like, say, for example, Andromedas lacebug, boxwood leaf mine, or, maybe where I'm out spraying particularly oil all day or tick treatments all day, and then I throw in a treatment that's like a flyer somewhere where it's out in the distance, and I can go out there and I can pick it up, and I don't have to worry about mixing 100 gallons or 200 gallons of products. I can mix 15 or 20 or 25 gallons of material, get that treatment done, where otherwise, I might have to put that treatment off for a little while because I'm limited because of the truck I have at the time.
You're never limited by your equipment.
Never. Not with this truck.
Chris, I really appreciate your time and your interest, and you're willing to share what you've learned, and I know that you've, because of everything this could do, there was a learning curve to this.
Yes, there certainly is a learning curve, yeah.
How do you feel about that? You finished the learning curve pretty much?
It's very easy to pick up and learn. I've had experience with multi-tank trucks in the past. The biggest learning curve for me was the two manifold system and linking it, and transferring, and so on. But it was a quick learning curve. It's just a matter of day, just getting out there, doing what you need to do, and taking your time and thinking about what you're doing. And then once you get it, then it's second nature. Then you don't even think about what you're doing. You're turning valves and transferring
and it
materials.
just becomes more and more efficient the more you do it.
Yeah, once you become proficient with it, it increases your efficiency.
Okay. Any other things you'd like to share with us or add, or anything in closing?
Well, this system with the Hino truck and chassis, it's a winning combination, the two. The Hino has not been a letdown in any way. It's very easy to get around in driveways. It turns on a dime. It is like a cab-over truck like we spoke about earlier. And the two together are a great combination.
Okay. Well, Chris Tompkins from Arbor Services of Connecticut.
Correct.
We really appreciate your time and interest, and maybe in the future you can follow up with some other things that you're learning about this.
Absolutely.
Chris, thank you so much.
You're welcome.